I started this project 4 years ago. It's of course a very complex model. It contains more than 7,000 surfaces, and as you see, it is quite complex. But of course, I always was drawn to complex models. So the first Papercraft project I did was the model of Alicorn, Princess Luna, life size, of course. So, as you see, this is such a complex project with so many parts and so many difficult parts that are very finicky and different to everything else I ever done. But of course, why not? So I started with the feet and I bolted them to the ground because I wanted to give them an inner structure that can support the weight of the model. So I started from the ground up, the feet, and then built my way up. And once I had a good enough model part, I went down to the face, to the shape of the face. But then when I came to the hands, I was almost ready to give up because it was just too complex. It actually took me I think more than a year, I guess, until I decided to just wing it and build a hand by feel, and went and got this result that I was pretty happy with. Once I had this hurdle, I completed the face and did the same approach for the hair, where I just filled in something I couldn't do in any other way. And it went pretty much as I expected from that point on. You see here that I filled the structure with some EVA foam to give it even more sturdy base it can stand on, because the very last thing you want to have with such a big model is to fall over. Once I had all the parts assembled, I also used foam within the upper part of the body, which you can see here. I trimmed off the foam that was too much, and again it was very sturdy. This is the look of the model was very derpy, and my son, which is a much better artist than me, did a mock-up of how it should actually look like, and I changed the face so it's more in tune with the real model, how it should look. Then I buffed up the hair a bit with multiple strands of hair, and this is pretty much the end result. Here you see these are different pictures in different poses, not different poses, from different angles. I'm pretty happy how it turned out. It took, like I said, a long time, but in the end I couldn't be much happier. It turned out much better than I expected. Here's a short video of the model. Turn it with my foot. So, yeah, especially the hair was, the result for the hair was much better than I expected. The puffiness I added at the end did really help to convey the feeling of the hair much better than I expected. And the rest is pretty much in line with what I expected. The hood was also a bit tricky to integrate it into the model, because the 3D model I used was not really made for something like a papercraft, more like for a model where it doesn't matter what's inside. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, thanks.